Hello guys and dolls, how are you today? I'm going to talk to you about, I don't think I have as much of a glare today. Anyway, for those of you that are subscribed, thank you. For those of you not subscribed, why not? Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon. You know what's up. Do it, do it, do it. Like Nike says, do it. I had notes on here, but my stupid computer is acting stupid. Thus the name Stupid Computer. So I'm not going to be able to give you the notes that are pertaining to this article, and I do apologize. However, this article is on Madame Noir, and if you go to madamenoir.com, you should punch in 12 harsh truths about dating a man with kids, because that's what I was trying to show you, but like I said, my computer's acting really dumb. I gotta just cry for a little bit. I have chronic pain every day of my life. There's no day that I don't have pain, and because I've been so busy, my back is like really mad at me. So I'll have to use my massager later on. I still have my PJs on. I would show them to you, but I don't know. It's a long t-shirt. You're not going to see anything, like me showing bad things. Anyway, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but there we go. What does it say? I love weekends in bed. Yeah. I like any time I'm in my bed, okay? Because like I said, I have chronic pain every day. There's literally no day that I don't have pain, and I mean that. When you have fibromyalgia, your world as you knew it doesn't exist anymore. So I just want to make sure. Okay, we're good. So my personal experience, and I'm going to have to reach into the recesses of my mind to tell you about it, because like I said, my notes, that's where they went. So as you know, my ex was a narcissist. We were together for 20 plus years, and on paper, married for 2 years, but on paper for a total of 20. When you are with a narcissist, you're not really married. You're married on paper, but their needs will always supersede your needs, because that's how a narcissist operates. Of course, I didn't know he was a narcissist at the time, but when I first met him, one of the things he did, which was, now I know in retrospect that was a tester to see if I had empathy. And what he did was tell me a sad story about how his best friend had gotten killed. Now that happened a long time ago, but he's bringing it up now because that's the test. I didn't know any of this at the time. I mean, like, I knew nothing about this at the time. So, what is that? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I hope you guys can still see me. Yeah, okay. That was the tester. Let me give you the sob story about my friend and how he got killed, and let's see how you react to that. And since it wasn't something that had just happened, there wasn't really a reason to bring it up, but that was my test. I think she's empathetic. I think she's compassionate, but let me throw a quiz out there, and let me throw my fish rod, my line into the water to see what I catch. So anyway, dealing with him with kids was, for the most part, fine. For the most part, the only problem is his ex-wife is psychotic, just like him. So she's very, lack of a better word, ghetto. Likes to fight, likes to argue. If there's no drama, she's not happy. Normal women, you might take them out, take them for a picnic. You know what I'm saying? You sit along the shoreline, you listen to the waves hit the rocks, feed each other grapes. That's a good time. For her, a good time is fighting, arguing, I hate you too, door slamming, hang-ups on the phone, slam. That's her idea of a good time. So you've got two toxic people that were married, making kids, and so you're going to have drama. It's inevitable. Even if the father isn't toxic, or the mother for that matter, even if they're not, there's some dysfunctions that can creep into that if the parent isn't careful. And I understand that kids have to come first because they're kids. They can't raise themselves. I understand that. But I also understand that if I'm supposedly your partner, quotation marks, supposedly your partner, if I discipline those kids and they're under my roof because they did something irresponsible or whatever the case is, and I'm not an irrational person usually, and you side with the kid and the kid was wrong, any of y'all that deal with that, and you bring it up to your partner like, hey, why are you siding with your kid? Your kid was wrong. That's a red flag, and you need to watch very, very closely from here on out if that continues to be a pattern. If it happens once, put their ass on probation. If it continues to happen, fire them. It's just that simple. And I don't care if you're a woman, a man, a child, a goldfish. If you are under my roof, there will be certain rules. For example, for adults, I don't like smoking. I think it's gross. It smells horrible. I don't want to inhale secondhand smoke. That's just me. If you like it, that's you. But I don't permit that in my house. It's just the way I am. And if I'm a smoker and I'm at someone else's house and they don't want me to smoke in their house or in their car, that's their right. Moving right along. So, once the kids stayed with me for the summer, and it happened 2 summers in a row, which the first summer wasn't too bad. Second summer was a lot worse because the youngest has behavioral problems because his biological mother was, he was born crack addicted, okay? So he had severe behavior problems. He was either your best friend or your worst nightmare. There was no middle ground. So yeah, me and him butted horns. And there were times that one of the girls was giving me grief because on multitude, 2 of the girls are teenagers. One was a preteen, I think, and the other one was already a teenager. So you're talking attitude, what's wrong with you? Nothing. Well, obviously something's wrong with you because your face is twisted like a pretzel. What's going on? Nothing. And yes, I did deal with that. And I basically told her, we had packed to go to the beach that day. And we have lakes. We don't have like a beach near an ocean in the Midwest, right? But we do have massive bodies of water here. But anyway, move right along. So we packed up our stuff to go. And at the last minute, I think she was 15. Last minute, she decided she didn't want to go. And I said, are you coming with us? No. Why not? I don't want to. No problem. I said, okay, this is how it's going to go down. We're going to the lake and we're going to hang out and have a great time. If you're not going to come with us, do not answer the phone. Do not answer the door. And we'll be back when we get back. I'm not going to try to beg you to do something you don't want to do. And she's old enough to be at the house by herself anyway. I said, you're more than welcome to change your mind before we leave. If you don't, we're going to have a good time with or without you, okay? Anyway, long story short, I didn't have to deal with that much with her. But, that's not true. It eventually started to be more and more of, for like I said, no reason. And people think that just because kids did not come out of your body, you don't know anything about kids. Well, that would be incorrect. I've been a mom since I was a kid. That's the reason why when on my description of the videos, I always say mama loves y'all, because I've been a mom since I was little, taking care of kids, taking care of my brothers, taking care of babies. Here I am, a baby, and I'm taking care of a baby. So I've always been a mom, and I've always had to be responsible as the oldest kid. And, I've always been a mom. So anyway, one of the scenarios that was totally uncalled for was I had a rabbit at the time, and I had asked one of the girls, she wanted him to come out of his cage, and when they were playing in the yard, and I was in the house, and I said, as long as you're going to be responsible for him, because if you're not going to be responsible for him, then, you know, he needs to stay in his cage. And she said, no, I'll be responsible. I said, are you sure? She said, yeah. Well, then she took him out, and she got to playing, and she totally forgot that he or just didn't pay any attention to the fact that he was now in the front yard where traffic is and where I used to live, and she was just totally oblivious to that, and he could get hit by a car and killed because you were irresponsible. So I put her to bed early, and by the way, he was a truck driver, over-the-road truck driver. I would never advise anyone to date anyone who's over-the-road truck driver, and I'll explain that later. Don't do it. Because if they're a narcissist or they've got some serious problems, they can hide it for literally years, because every time they see you, which is once in a blue moon, it's a honeymoon. Let's make love. Oh my God. And all this other crap. And they're hiding the nastiness in their personality. And by the time the bills are due, they hit the truck and they're gone. And God only knows what they're doing out there, with who they're doing it. Not every truck driver is a monster, but I would seriously be cautious about that if I were you. So anyway, I put her to bed early. I was horrified because I don't want my rabbit to get killed. And I put him in his cage and I put her to bed early. Well, he's on the road, so I'm a single mom basically. And he sided with her. Well, why'd you put her to bed early? Because I'm trying to teach her responsibility. And then he had the nerve to say, well, it's just a rabbit. That's not the thing to say to someone who's a pet owner, because they'll choose their pet over you. That's what's going to happen. I said, he's not just a rabbit, he's my son. I raised him since he could fit in the palm of my hand. I'm his mom. And if someone's going to take responsibility for him, and you swear on a stack of Bibles you're going to do it, and you do not, yes, you need to be penalized for that, because that goes into your adulthood, okay? Lack of responsibility. But he sided with her. This isn't the first time he's pulled that crap. It's notorious for parents to do that. Not all parents, but a lot of single parents, they feel guilty that they're not with the other partner and all this other stuff. It doesn't apply to everybody. If it don't apply to you, let it fly. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But this is a common thread. I choose my kid over you. If this continues to be a problem, especially when you address it with your partner and nothing changes, I say get rid of their asses and avoid people with kids unless those kids are grown. Because let me tell you something else. Fathers have done that. You've got 50-something-year-olds with little kids and babies now because they're starting a family at 50. But we're not going to go into that ridiculosity. We're not going to go into that right now. Anyway, and women will do it because when you get tired of her, you're locked in and you're going to pay her child support from now and until. Okay, so women will be more than happy to lay down and make a baby with you right this second. Men are not very bright sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, that's a common thread for the parent to side with the kid no matter how wrong the kid was. The other kid that he sided with, who I said, are you coming with us to the lake? No. What's wrong with you? Nothing. No problem, sister girl. No problem. We're going. Bye. We're having a good time. When she acted ignorant, and sometimes she did, that's what teenagers do, he sided with her. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because when she was born, she had water on the brain, and they told her that, you know, her chances of her survival are very small. Well, a lot of times parents go into this thing of, which is a dangerous thing. Your child can become narcissistic as a result of this. Your child can be a brutal killer because of it. And yes, it has happened. I'm not being dramatic. Do some research. You'll see what I'm talking about. He sided with her because when she was a kid, she wasn't going to live that long because she had water on the brain. Well, now she's 15, and he felt like, well, you know, you had water on the brain, and that means you have to have no rules now. You know, I'm going to send you through life with absolutely no rules because I feel sorry for you that you were born with, you know, a health condition that could have killed you, but you survived. But now you get no rules. That's asinine. On every level there is. That's asinine. You're preparing them for the world. You're supposed to be preparing them for the world. If you don't prepare them for the world and you cater to their every move, you are training them to become a narcissist. Because narcissists have a sense of entitlement. If you think I'm lying, go to Dr. Ramani. She will teach you all about narcissism on YouTube. Dr. Ramani, Ramani, in case you think I'm making this up. So, sense of entitlement. They go into the world with this mentality of, well, my mom kisses my butt, so the rest of the world is going to kiss my butt. Surprise, no, they're not. Okay? And then they get angry when they don't get their way. You're causing them to be mentally ill is what it boils down to. And I know of one situation where his mom not only was, treated him like he was entitled, but she was also afraid of him and gave him everything he ever wanted. She lied for him. Oh my God. Well, he became a killer. And because criminals don't believe in rules either. It's a slippery slope when people do that. And they don't understand how dangerous that can be. They don't get that. But anyway, after dealing with him and we were done, I was never going to deal with someone with kids again. Also, let me go into this while it's on my mind. Because she's evil, the mother, and that happens in more often than not, she don't want the man happy with somebody else. She's going to non-directly attack the woman that the guy is seeing. I don't want that bitch telling my kids what. Excuse me, hold it. Excuse me? She never said that to me, which is a good thing because all hell would have broke loose. If she needs drama, I'll be more than happy to give it to you. I'm a responsible person. I fed your kids. I protected your kids. If I would fight a grizzly bear for those kids, to protect those kids, and I'm the B word? Wow. Okay. Let me talk to you about the phone calls that came every day. By the way, the bitch lives in Pennsylvania. I'll show you a real bitch. She lives in Pennsylvania. She called me on my phone from Pennsylvania, and I'm in Missouri, every single freaking day, 7 to 10 times a day, every single day. Because the kids gained a few pounds when they went back home. They were not obese, okay? They gained a few pounds. That's not a bad thing. That shows that I was feeding them. And I fed them more vegetables than I've probably ever eaten in my lifetime because they're growing. They have to have those nutrients, okay? Not too bad for somebody wouldn't be a decent mom because no kids came out of her. Come on, let's not be stupid. You could be a mom whether sometimes you're a better mom when you don't have kids because you're not stuck in the emotions of it. You're looking at it from a logical perspective. Anyway, move right along. So the kids went back home with a few pounds on them. So what? It's not a big deal. And what else? I took them everywhere. I taught them how to swim. They went horseback riding. They went to the arcade. Back then there were arcades. They went horseback riding. They did a whole slew of things that were super cool. Well, when they went back to school, by the time they got home and they started going back to school, they said they had to do a book report about how their summer went. So they did a book report and they said, we have two moms. We have our mom in Missouri and we have our mom in Pennsylvania. Well, when a psychotic person finds that out, all hell is going to break loose, okay? She literally called my phone 7 to 10 times every single day, leaving messages on my phone. We had answering machines back then, right? Every day. He would not address her because he's psychotic like she is, and his excuse was, well, I don't want to rock the boat because then she won't let me see my kids anymore. I said, you have to understand something. She has to rely on you for child support. She also has to rely on you for extra money that the kids need for school supplies and field trips and all that other stuff. So it's not a one-way deal where she's in control and you have to obey her every need. Okay? That was his sorry excuse for not addressing her. Now, let me tell you what it would look like in a healthy situation. If the mother's being psychotic and raising hell and talking bad to the kids when the kids get on the phone, which I knew what she was saying, some kind of nastiness. By the time they get off the phone, they were no longer in a good mood. So I know she was saying something awful to them. She was jealous of our connection. Well, if you weren't a psychopath, they would like you too. I'm not Jerry Springer, so they love me. That's not my fault, that's yours. Anyway, so he would not address her. Well, you know. Okay. So I got the police involved. I had the police officer listen to all the messages that she left on my, which she's talking to a machine every day and ringing up her phone bill at the time, because that's what long distance was like. Every time you called, you got charged for it. He listened to all the messages. My kids came back damaged goods. I don't know what you did to them while they were there. Blah, 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 blah. He listened to all the messages, and this is his response. He's listening, and he goes, damn. I said, yeah, I've been dealing with that every day. And this went on for probably months. She also told other family members that I was a horrible person. The kids didn't love me. They didn't like me. Is that why they were calling me mom? That's the reason why she was the most furious, because we had a better connection. And she feels like if they came out of my body, they owe me respect. No, they don't, because you are Jerry Springer. You are sick. You are dysfunctional. They had fun with me, which is what kids are supposed to have. You know what I'm saying? Avoid, 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 avoid. Okay? Because if the parent is so swooped by their emotions that their love for their kids supersedes common sense, don't sign up for that, because you're asking for a nightmare. Okay? Some of y'all can relate to this. I know you can relate to this. If the kids are going to stay at the new wife's house, and, whether it's long distance or not, the ex-wife, especially if she's got problems, okay, she will send those kids to your house with clothes that no longer fit them, clothes that are beat up, clothes that have holes in them. 2 summers, I had to get her daughter's bras, because it never occurred to her that when the girls grow boobs, they need bras. It's just one of those weird things. It never occurred to that dizzy broad. So here I am, the first time and the second time. I don't know the first thing about kids' bras, not the first thing about freaking kids' bras, okay? And it's not easy buying bras for us adults either. It's a pain in the butt. There's like a gazillion different styles, but we're not going to go there. It's not an easy thing. And I had to, in a clueless way, try to figure out, what size the girl needed, the one girl, and then the next summer, I had to do the same thing for the other girl, because, again, developing on top, stupid doesn't have enough sense. Why are you busy going off on everybody? Why don't you get some smarts in your head and realize that your daughter needs a bra on? Anyway, so the second daughter, we were going to get bras, and what happened? The first one, I guess she had a sense of nostalgia, and she said, you realize you gave me my first bra too, right? I said, no, I didn't. She said, yeah, you did. I said, I did? She goes, yeah. So that was something sentimental that she remembered. And I said, well, since you're wearing bras and you know more you know more about this, help me find a bra for your sister. It can be a nightmare. It can be a total nightmare. And if he doesn't truly love you and respect you, he's going to side with everybody but you. That's the reality. He's going to side with everybody but you. It is warm in here. Today it's real hot. Real hot. So the nastiness, the hatred, is that a bug? What is that? What is that? Oh God, I hate hot weather. Anyway, sorry guys. It is warm. Holy crap, it's warm. Anyway, she hates him and doesn't want him happy with anybody else. Of course, a narcissist will never be happy, so she should have known that and left it alone. He's never going to be happy. Good God, I'm hot. I'm sweating. Well, the fan is turned a different way than it should be, and that's a problem too. Oh, Lord, you're making me tired. So, yeah, this is the kind of crap you got to deal with when you're dealing with someone with kids. So I got to the point where, when I was dating, if a man doesn't have grown kids, I'm signing off. We're not doing that no more. No. She also sent them to me with sandals that didn't fit. So their feet, their toes, were going over the top of the sandals like this. And I said, I'm horrified, and I said, where's your sandals? The ones that fit, where are they? This is the only ones we have. Get in the car. We're going to Payless and get you some shoes because this is ridiculous. These broads do this. Not all, okay? You'll never hear me say all, you know, or never, because there's always exceptions to the rule. But this is the kind of shit that they pull, okay? One of the shorts that she sent with one of the girls had holes in it, and it looked like a dog used to use it as a chew toy. And I'm going, okay. And I basically told him, you need to give me money for shoes and clothes because she sent them with the worst things that you could send kids with. So I need money. I need extra money for groceries because I'm going to make sure they eat because I'm a terrible person that way. And they need shoes that fit. They're not going out with me looking like that. Wow. Wow. So needless to say, after that, they were not staying at my house anymore on the summers because I'm not doing it. I'm just not going to deal with it. I've dealt with other men with kids. This is the stupidness that men do. Not all. But they're divorced. They have kids. The kids are young. They stay at his house every other weekend. And if the kids are there, he can't talk on the phone if he loves his kids. He can't talk on the phone with an adult woman because he don't want the kids to run back and tell the ex-wife, their mom, Daddy was talking to a girl on the phone, and she'll be like, oh, really? Oh, you think so? Next time you see my kids, hell will freeze over twice. That's the type of crap that goes on. So she's got her high heel shoe on his neck. You will not see nobody else. I'll make your life a living hell. You won't even be able to talk on the phone because my kids are going to listen to everything you say. So the guy is so paranoid that even though they're divorced, she's got the strings, you know, like a marionette puppet. You're maneuvering. And so she's got so much control over him, he can't even function as an adult. He can't even talk on the phone. And even if his kids are not there, he's so used to her snapping her fingers and telling him what to do and what he's not going to do that he won't even talk to you when the kids aren't there. It's almost like he's sitting there like this, waiting for the kids to come back to his house. I mean, listen, no, no. A real man would address the ex-wife, especially if they're married. He's married to the new woman or whatever. A real man would say, let me tell you something. When you call my house, you're going to have respect for my wife. You understand that? You will have respect for my wife because this is how it is. And you're either going to be a mature adult or there would be repercussions because I'm not playing with you. You call my freaking house and have respect on my phone talking to my wife. But if you're a punk and you let your ex-wife dominate you, then you're going to be like, I can't make any phone calls. My mommy won't allow me to use the phone. Women, be super careful. Be super careful. And even if a guy isn't a narcissist, he can still protect his kids and leave you out in the cold. Well, you know, I know my kids stole money out of your wallet, but, you know, kids do that. Okay, well, this relationship is over because all you need is yourself and your kids. They did something wrong to me and you won't protect me. So I'll tell you what, it's been nice knowing you, but gotta go. Bye-bye. I wish you the best. Women have to start taking control when somebody is being abusive, neglectful, leaving you out in the cold. They just, you know, if he wants to act like that, let him go hold your kids' hands and y'all run into the sunset and you could be single forever for all I care because bye. Bye. And then there's another part of this, and I'll try not to make this too long, but I shut down emotionally because I knew I was in a marriage by myself. So I shut down emotionally. Women lose the ability to be intimate with you, and that's the only thing that men pay attention to. And even sometimes they're so screwed up in here that that doesn't even bother them because they either have women on the side or whatever. But with the narcissist in particular, he may hear you, I'm upset about this, I'm hurt about that, you don't respect me, but they hear nothing. They do hear, don't touch me. Now you've got their attention because you don't want to be intimate with them. And before stupid men listen to this and say, oh, that's not fair, using sex as a weapon. It's not using sex as a weapon, but let's be smart for a second here. If you're treating someone like garbage, that's not an aphrodisiac. Okay, genius? That's not an aphrodisiac. It's not. If I'm in a marriage by myself, which I was, and I have to deal, I'm in the lion's den, and I never know which lions are going to attack me when, and I got to deal with that by myself because you won't put your foot down. Where in that scenario am I supposed to say, oh baby, whew, let's just swing from the ceiling? Where in there will I get hot? Where? Abandonment is not sexy. Come on, let's think. Anyway, long story short, I was pursuing acting at the time, and I went to they used to have the Acapulco Film Festival in Mexico, and I went there. It was strictly for business. Under normal circumstances, it would have been romantic. It would have been, because our hotel, I'm so hot, our hotel was right on the beach, okay? And you get to hear literally get to hear the water hitting the shoreline every night. Under normal circumstances, that's pretty hot. When you're dealing with a narc, that's not hot, or other type of neglectful person, that's not hot. So don't expect, first of all, this isn't a honeymoon, this is a business trip, number one. Number two, you can't go on a trip and expect all the nightmares from the United States they're going to stay at home. You pack your nightmares in your suitcase when you go on this trip. Women remember abandonment. Women remember when she comes on to you and you don't want to be intimate with her. Oh, what? Yeah, that control thing that men like to do, especially narcissistic men. You mess with me and I'll be on ice from now until, I don't care if we married for 50 years, you'll be celibate. You will be an incel. Play with me if you want to. Anyway, so he was angry that, I'm going to try to wrap this up. He didn't understand why I wasn't all over him in Mexico. He didn't comprehend that. He didn't comprehend that. It's in the 90s today. God, I'm dying. He didn't comprehend that when you abandon somebody and you don't want to listen to them when they're trying to communicate with you, all you hear is wah, 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 like Charlie Brown, because you're shutting her out. Now, all of a sudden, because you're not getting laid, all of a sudden, this is a federal case. Everybody stop what you're doing. We got to resolve this right here and now. No, baby, we don't have to resolve it because you heard nothing of what I said to you before. Women do not consider abuse sexy and abandonment. If I'm going to be by myself, I could be divorced by myself, be alone, officially alone by myself because I'm alone with you, which is even worse. So we came back from the trip. I basically told him when we were on the trip, and this is probably TMI, but he was wondering why I wasn't all over him, climbing all over him like he was a tree. And I basically said, I could do it for you, but I'm not going to get anything out of it. Yes, I went there. If I'm sweating, I'm sorry, guys, I'm hot. I'll do it for you, but I'm not going to get nothing out of it. I'm not going to fake. Oh. I'm not doing that. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. But do y'all see? Look at all the years that I had to be by myself, and it was never a problem for him. Nothing was ever a concern for him until he couldn't get what he wanted. Now, all of a sudden, he got the nerve to have his feelings hurt. So we came back, and he came back from the trip, and he said, You're not the same. You're not affectionate with me anymore, which translates to you're not laying me anymore. And I said, well, I hug you and stuff. And he said, yeah, but it's not the same. I said, well, of course it's not the same, because everything that I discussed with you went in one ear and out the other. Everything that your ex pulled, all the crap that she pulled, and the police report that I had to file for her crap, and you just sat back and ate popcorn and it was super casual. All that crap, we packed it in our suitcase when we went to Mexico. It doesn't disappear because you hopped on a plane. Now, if y'all go, your marriage or relationship is on the rocks, and y'all go on a vacation, and he's willing to acknowledge, or the wife is willing to acknowledge, hey, I screwed up on a massive scale. I'm really sorry. And I hope that this vacation will give us a clean start. But when you're dealing with someone who's off their rocker, you're not going to get that. He wasn't even going to fake it on the trip. So my advice is, if they got little kids, stay away from that. If you're dating someone with kids and they side with the kids over you, the kid's disrespectful to you, yes, I've been through that too. Even though the kid was grown, he said something smart ass to me, and his father did not stop him. He just let him say whatever. And I went, F it, and I turned around and walked away. And then after the fact, when he knew, because we were at someone's house when he was acting like that, and then he don't want other people to find out, so all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm going to tell him to apologize because that was out of line. Because he doesn't want the people at the house, there were a lot of people there, he don't want them to find out, so he going to scramble to try to fix it. But women, take a note of that, or men, take a note of that. You know, the adult kid is being disrespectful to you, and the parent doesn't say anything. They're just like, well, you know, we're over. It's just that simple. I love you guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.